Hi everyone, I am Ashwini. I am a fashion features writer with Femina. Welcome to the fourth edition of the VBC. Today we have with us an actor who is as talented as she is breathtaking. Please welcome Tamannah. Hi Tamannah, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm okay. How have you been? What's been keeping you busy these days?
A lot of different film shoots, a lot of content that's been created right now, and I mean, what's really exciting for me is all the different parts I'm getting to play. And I feel like this entire phase of the pandemic and OTT being the new place where we see a lot of content has actually given it's a big opportunity to explore completely different stories, different characterizations, and that's what I'm doing right now. And it's a really exciting phase of my career at the moment.
Okay, so clearly, when it comes to beauty carnival, I think we could not have had a better person to be with us. Just to get an idea, like what does beauty mean to you?
Well, I think I think at different points of time it's meant different things, but today I definitely feel like it is a lot to do with self-love. Strangely, I was having this conversation today with one of my colleagues on set, a female co-star, and we were talking about how the generation before us and the generation before that largely looked at self-love as being selfish.
Yeah.
And the inability to actually love yourself defines what you think is beautiful. Yeah. So I feel like today, because I have actually worked a lot more on self-love, because I don't think I always was at a place where I loved myself the way I do today. So I feel like the way I look at myself is a lot more accepting, a lot less harsh, and hence I think beauty actually means a calm state of mind to me, or means the ability to feel healthy, to feel fresh, and to feel enthusiastic about going on to a day. And of course, yes, sometimes some days beauty also means just waking up, getting my hair done, putting some lip gloss on. But yeah, I think beauty means something a lot more deeper now than it did ever before.
So Tamannah, coming back to the conversation, so we all have phases. Like when we're younger, I think we're more obsessed with how beauty is on the skin level, like how we look. It's more vanity inspired. Do you think, like as growing up, you've ever had a phase of insecurity, or like something which is related to how you look a certain way at some point? Because there's a thing called puberty which hits everybody, and it's quite it's quite insane. So would you say that you had those kind of phases in life?
Sometimes I feel like I started working at the age of 15. So I started I faced the camera at a very young age. And so I've literally seen my face, my body, my skin, my hair go through so many different changes, and it's literally documented. So, so I think, and yeah, I think I was a lot more harsh on myself growing up, like I would really lose my peace on having one pimple. I'd be like, oh God, why do I have a pimple today? I have a close-up. And so I feel like for actors anyway, for us, because our entire job is in a visual medium, it does affect us a lot more than a person who is not based in this medium, because it doesn't affect their job directly. But for us, it does. Our job is a visual medium, and the aesthetic is what matters in terms of what we are doing. So, I mean, I have had really bad days where I have, worried about my pimples, and I have cried, and I've been like, why is this happening? And, not understanding that I am a young girl and I'm growing up, and there are hormonal changes, and I will be experiencing this. But I think as I grew up, I realized that there is, if you were to choose a more natural life, or choose natural ways of, achieving a balance in your life, then you can actually counteract a lot of your issues which happen during puberty, which happen during, hectic life, living a hectic lifestyle. Um, so instead of trying to being, if you have an issue with a certain thing that you don't like about yourself, what is the most natural and most sustainable way of addressing that issue is what I did in my life. And that's why workouts became a very important part of my life. Yoga became a very important part of my life. Eating right became an important part. Sleeping became an important part. So I can't say that these things didn't bother me growing up or they don't even bother me today. They bother me. But I chose to address them in the most loving, sustainable, and realistic way. Because at the end, when people talk about how the whole idea of aesthetics is overrated, aesthetic is also a signal of what is happening inside your body and what you're doing to yourself. Like, I don't I don't believe in fat shaming anyone, but if someone is really obese, it could, if it's not a health condition, it could also mean a very unhealthy lifestyle. So I don't advocate that either. So I feel like it's very, some things in this whole beauty space. Now, sometimes there are double-edged sword. It's also very tricky because it talks a lot about the person's life and lifestyle and life choices. So, someone not addressing their skin issues, not as always, you can have a hormonal imbalance, you can have issues, but are you doing the required things to counter that? If not, then either you accept it or you find a solution to it, one of the two. So yeah, I think
that's where the self-love angle comes into play, right?
Yes,
like when you show yourself that thing, that your support, that I can face this, I can do this, let's get it better. So I feel like, yeah. So but like you said, you're an actor, you are always, and you're perpetually in the like the visual medium. I also believe that makeup and beauty kind of like have the power to bring alive certain characters that you've played, right? Like, so what do you think of the power of makeup in the transformative sense?
It's unreal and it's huge. Like, some of my most memorable characters that I've played on screen have been when I've totally physically transformed. Like, Bahubali for me was a film in which I was, at least 10 to 15 shades warmer than what I am today and what I am really in person. And also, it was I had to really like muscle up for that character. I had to become a lot more physically stronger for that character. And in terms of makeup, there was a lot done to make me look like the part. Like, the hair makeup was a very crucial part of the whole equation. So, so yeah, that was one film. And then there was a film called Devi, which is a Tamil film, which was dubbed into Hindi and Telugu. There again, I played a Tamil housewife, and it was where I really had to wear a lot of makeup. My makeup took about 2.5, 3 hours a day. Yeah, so I spent that much time just getting ready every day. So yeah, it has and I don't know, I think it's something to do with my face. My face majorly changes with makeup. Like, the day I don't wear a liner and the day I wear a liner are like, I can pass off as like two different people because it really changes my face that much. So yeah, if you know how to use makeup in a good way, it can actually really help you, bring out different facets to you. So for people who are not facing the camera, people who are watching, this interview, they can find new ways to kind of enhance their beautiful features through makeup.
Yeah, that's what, like, I also believe that makeup has a lot of transformative power, and it's all not always supposed to be painted in the negative connotation. I feel like makeup does have a lot of positive like power to it.
Yes,
but
for sure.
yes, but coming to this whole point of like external appearances, like we live in an age of social media, and I think we're back to a point where people are obsessing over imperfections and they're not okay with accepting them. And we have all of these filters that kind of like mask your your imperfections.
Yeah.
So and it's become a cause of major anxiety for a lot of people. Like, what is your take on social media and its standards of beauty?
I will just say this for any and every piece of technology, or even things that are meant to aid us in our lives, is that whatever it is, and in this case social media, is that let social media be a thing that you use, and let not social media use you. Because after you being on social media, there's especially the younger generation who wasn't actually who's rather born in this social media time, they have only seen this. So I mean, I have had days where phone hi nahi hota tha, to hum log, we used to just like call from a neighbor's phone, like, so we've lived that as well. And now we are seeing how the whole social media thing is, and being out there. So I feel like it's something that you'll have to understand. It's not a reality. It is something that we use for entertainment today. Back in the day, there was only theaters for entertainment. There was only like maybe going out playing sports for entertainment, watching a sport for entertainment. Our modes of entertainment were different. Today it's our phone, or today it's social media, where we can scroll through something and watch a video that makes us laugh or makes us cry or makes us feel a certain way. So actually it is a source of entertainment. So for example, if you watch a movie and you start taking that movie like it's a real story, but it's a fictitious story, I mean, that would drive you nuts. That would drive you crazy, right? Like if you were to watch a movie and start thinking it's reality. Social media is somewhat like that. Although it is presenting people's lives and people are putting their lives out there, I still think it is people putting just like the best parts of their life, or maybe sometimes also the way they want their life to be, or their thoughts, their vision for their life. It's almost like it's a mood board of their vision almost, so I feel like I don't think you should be taking social media that seriously and just using it to your benefit and your fun. I don't think you should make it the center point of your life.
Yeah, but having said that, like, do you use filters for fun?
Oh yeah, for sure. When I feel like I totally do, like there are days, like you said, just like makeup, filters also are nothing but something that can help you look like a certain way on a bad day. But
that's absolutely okay.
But I don't think I'm gonna, if I don't have a filter, I will not post something. There are times I post stuff not filtered, not edited, and there are times I go edit something and then I'm like, why am I editing this? This looks great. Sometimes we in our head, also as women, sometimes we're like, "Arey, ye thoda zyada lag raha hai." Sometimes you feel a little chubby, and then you're like, "Oh, this is too chubby. Why should I?" But I'm like, "But that is not looking. It's in your head." So I feel like I have done that, and I feel like I think all of us do it, and I feel yes, there are times social media pushes you to that point where you feel like, "Nahi, nahi, ye bhi correct kar lete." But I feel like it's not necessary, and then you have to talk to yourself and tell that, listen, it's an app. It's not life, so life is quite different.
But you're right. I think we as women kind of scrutinize ourselves a little extra, even more than people would kind of like scrutinize us.
Yes.
I feel like, so you're right. Like that entire thing in our head is a real state of mind. So coming back to like, your entire regime, we know that you kind of rely on a lot of Indian wellness and like ancient wellness techniques and systems, beliefs. So how did you kind of like get into that? You even wrote a book about it. Like,
yes. So Back to the Roots was a very, very fun collaboration with Luke. Also, it was something that was, in my case, experiential. Like I didn't want to write about something I didn't actually go through. So I lived that for 2 years, whatever's in that book. And I felt such a huge difference, and I really wanted to share that. And that's when Luke and I kind of got together and decided to put it out there through a book. And I feel like there are a lot of things that I actually are still a part of my day-to-day life. And, be it oil pulling, or be it, sometimes just having, dalchini lime the moment I wake up in the morning. Or cinnamon is a really huge part of my morning ritual. Dunking my face in like ice cold water, or taking ice baths is a common thing that I do. Using stuff that is good for my hair, which keeps it, hydrated. Using onion juice sometimes to keep, to help me kind of, heal, have like better hair texture. I've done that. So I feel like so many things are actually something that is a lifestyle change. And once you make it, right, it's a constant. So yeah.
But it's surprising that, these are things that we've been, it's in our history, it's in our, like texts, but
Yeah.
we've kind of like over the period of time, we've like let it go. So how did you, did you suddenly come across it, or like, was it a gradual discovery that, hey, I've got to go back to roots? Like did you decide that? Like,
The thing is, I am just someone as a person, yeah, I don't believe in quick fixes. I don't think they're sustainable. I feel
okay.
like whatever you do, like as a quick fix, वो फिर वापस वैसा ही हो जाता है. या तो वो skin हो, वो hair हो, वो life हो, वो emotions हो, वो mind हो. कुछ भी अगर आप, if you're trying to do it for a short period or if you want an immediate result, it will stay also for that much time. But if you want a sustainable change, if you want something that is long lasting or something that is lifelong with you, at least what part of it is in your hands, you're going to have to make sustainable changes. So I felt like this was a path that is more, the reason why it's in our text, so why it's a part of our culture, is because we've been gifted this, by our tradition, that there is so much there in our culture that they've already learned, and we as youngsters can actually use from what they've passed on and what they've taught us.
So, if you could just like name a few like super quick beauty hacks, or even one of any other wellness technique that you've kind of like, which has become your go-to, what would you say those are?
So I'm somebody who drinks a lot of coffee, but I feel like sometimes when you're right, don't you? Like, I think because of a very hectic life, I'm kind of, I love drinking coffee, and then sometimes I overdo it. But I've found this thing which I think really works, is to do avla shots in the day. So basically, why avla shots? It's because it's like a vitamin C shot, and it has, I have noticed this with myself. The moment I have an avla shot, one, it's really khatta, so you will definitely wake up, right? Because it's so khatta. And the second thing is full of vitamin C. So it's probably like, it's better than popping a vitamin C
Tablet.
supplement. Yeah. So yeah, I think that is something, and also it's great for your immunity. And today immunity is such a big thing, and it's so easily available, like in an avla. Like you don't even have to go somewhere and go to find it on, like it's not some difficultly available. The availability is not difficult, so it's so simple.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. Something for the skin would be, I still use besan and dahi after a sunburn.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's something I love doing. It's really cooling, it's really soothing, and it really makes you feel like like a hug on your on your.
And would you say you have like a go-to hair hack? Because all women post 25 will either like start getting frizzy hair, or like their hair will start falling out, and we all lose sleep over it. So would you say like you have something, a quick fix, not a quick fix, like a go-to hack for your hair care?
So I'll tell you one thing about hair. I really feel it's so important. Of course, oiling is something that I think really, really helps. And especially like for me, because I'm constantly changing my hair color because of the different characters I'm playing. In fact, the last year was a lot of hair color that I had to do. And I'm still like, I'm going to change my hair in the next 2 days again. So I feel like I normally try to oil my hair and keep it hydrated as much as possible. Definitely onion juice, which is really, really stinky. It really works. It helped me. And I think I also, more than just these quick fixes, I feel like, which are natural anyway, but I feel like eating enough amount of protein and eating enough amount of fats really helps you regenerate your hair. So, and it's a lot internal, yeah. I mean, hair is a lot. Of course, there's a genetic thing that matters. External things, applicatory things are only topical. So even whether they're natural or they're chemical, they can only aid you to a point. So if you really want your hair to get better, your diet needs to be better. Water intake needs to be better. And if you're lacking something, then supplementation depends on what your doctor recommends you.
Oh, that's interesting. So I think these are cool things that we'll keep a note of. So coming back to something like fun, I would say like, what is the one beauty trend that you're currently obsessed with?
beauty trend. I'm actually really, I've started doing this, and I used to laugh at people who did it, but I'm doing it now. Is the whole roller blade, the jade roller thing.
Jade roller.
Yeah, I feel like ये सुबह क्या करते हैं लोग? Like, why are they taking it? But I've started doing that, so I'm guilty of it. I love doing sheet masks. So sheet masks are a massive thing. So these two things I think I'm guilty of. As much as I laughed at, I think kabhi kisi pe hasna nahi chahiye. The moment you laugh on someone, you end up doing the exact same thing. So I'm guilty of that.
I mean, but in your defense, I feel like the whole J roller thing, the fact that it feels so cold against your skin, I think it's also a very cool.
That's why we do it. I don't know if it depuffies or whatever, but it definitely makes you feel like something cold is being rubbed on your face.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite part about both the gua sha stone and the roller. I feel like it just feels so cold, and it's kind of like it's nice. And one beauty hack that you think should A, never exist, and B, like you've given up. Like,
something that should never exist. I've seen people do this, and I think I don't know how come there's no information about it. But people after a tan have gone and bleached themselves.
oh.
And I'm like, your skin is burnt with the sun, and you have gone and put another chemical on it and burnt it again. So that should never happen. So for everybody who wants to bleach themselves after a sunburn, it is very bad.
Yeah, it's probably the worst idea.
It's the worst thing you can do.
And a beauty hack that a beauty trend that you've given up and you feel happy about giving it up.
Beauty trend that I have a very natural thing. I don't have anything that I might have, what I used to do, which I don't know, my nails maybe. No, nothing really. Nothing really I can remember. I've not given up on any of my crazies. It's all intact.
Okay. So if what's your favorite part about putting makeup on? Or getting dressed for a role.
I actually laughed because it just took me back to a visual when I was a young girl. I used to put one eyeshadow on one eye and one eyeshadow on one eye, and then I used to my mom used to wake up in the middle of the night and see my face, and she'd be like, "What has she done again?" So I am someone who loves doing makeup, and the best part I love about doing makeup is that you can. I mean, it happens to me. I start off doing something and it turns out something completely different. So I feel like that is the beauty of it, that you can, and sometimes I look better than what I imagined than what I would look. And then sometimes it's disaster.
So the experiment can go both ways, basically.
Can go both ways. And I love experimenting. That's what I love doing. I like it sometimes, I don't like it sometimes, but I love experimenting.
So would you say you're at this stage in your career because you've been doing it for so long? Like, would you say that you have become proficient at your own makeup?
Oh yeah, I always tell. So some of my very close friends are makeup artists, and I was like, "Agar मैं heroine नहीं होती, मैं तुम्हें जरूर makeup artist होती." लोग सब लोग की छुट्टी कर देती हूँ मैं. So I keep telling them that. And I'm a makeup hoarder. I love hoarding makeup. I have such a big bag that I carry to work. That all my makeup artists are like, "Listen, you have so much makeup. Why are we carrying makeup and getting excess luggage tag every time?" So nobody wants to pay excess luggage because they have too much makeup from me.
That's true. And plus you have your own little bag.
It's huge. It's like 35 kg. So it's genuinely, it's insane. It's too big.
So, if you're not doing anything, say it's your off-duty day, like what would your makeup look be like?
I'm a lazy person on an off-duty day. So I normally just end up with one color, which is like a blush color. And then it goes here, and it goes here.
Oh, okay.
Then maybe a mascara. That's it.
That's it.
And then I'll just hope it looks great all day. And then I never stare at myself again in the mirror.
Okay, so I have my last question for you is if you had to give a beauty advice to the viewers, what would it be?
If there's something that you think that you don't like about yourself, really ask yourself why. Because it's really important to not be so harsh on yourselves, because sometimes as women especially, I think we're very harsh on ourselves. So I think really having that dialogue with yourself, because it's so personal. and it's something that you need to face every day when you look into the mirror. So if it's something you can do something about, then do it or accept it.
Yeah. And it's okay either ways.
Either ways, yeah, it's a choice that one must have to make for themselves.
Because there's no other way to go about it.
Instead of going crazy about it every day, you rather look at it for once and just make a decision now. Like, what do you want to do?
This is amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time out and being with us on this chat. It was amazing to have you. Quite a few things that we've all learned also. A holistic wellness is the way to go, and we should all look it up. And thank you so much. I hope you've had fun.
Lovely. It's always been a great pleasure collaborating with you guys, and I hope this interaction is helpful to people who watch.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.